on guys, this is just going to be a quick video on how to set up your mod saw out of the box and just the basic operations of it. Let's get right into it. Now, at the top of the package, you're going to notice there's an envelope. There's going to be a note, 4 extra sandpaper pieces, and what we call the hook foot is going to be there in the envelope. Now, we're going to set this aside and get back to it in just a minute. Now, first off, our tolerances are very tight on these components, so you may need to give it just a little bit of help down here at the bottom. Use the leverage of that flat head to get these pieces moved. Go ahead and move your back arrow rest back here. Then you've got your mid rest. And the front side is now moved. Move on to the back. Now you've got this mod saw branding post. You don't have to slide that out through the end. We made this to where you can just loosen it and it actually pops off. So you can put it somewhere else later, toss it to the side, whatever you want to do with that. Now, onto the bearing posts. Go ahead and loosen those, pull them to the back. You then have your wobble indicator here and your squaring post. So that's basically how to get the pieces apart. Now let's dive into just a little bit about each piece and how to operate. So when you go to cut your arrow, you're gonna set this white indicator on wherever your arrow measures from carbon to carbon. So the arrow without the knock. You're gonna need to take your knock off with this unit. So set it, say at 28 inches. Now, you want to move on to your mid rest. This is going to stabilize the middle of your arrow to prevent any flexing when you're rolling the arrow into the blade. So we recommend having this about 9-10 inches. It's all subjective from the front rest. Now, when you go to cut your arrow, you're going to want to insert it on the back rest, the middle rest, and then you're going to want to roll the arrow into the blade when you cut it. That's going to give you a cleaner cut. After you cut your arrow, you're going to move on to squaring your arrow with the squaring post. So now you're going to want to move this front bearing post completely up against that squaring post, just like so. That's going to keep the front of your arrow stabilized. And then your back bearing post, you want it about 15-20 inches away. It's not a huge deal, just to stabilize that back end. Now, when squaring, you're gonna rotate in one direction and apply very light pressure. It does not take much, so check it frequently. Now, once you notice your sandpaper doesn't have much life left, you're gonna want to loosen and take out this thread here on the back of the squaring post, like so. And then peel it off. It's sticky on the back side, and replace it with one of the extras that we sent to you in the envelope. If you need more than what we sent, you can get those on our website right now. Now, after your arrow is all squared up, you're gonna wanna spin your arrow to check that insert, make sure everything's spinning straight, make sure you did a good job on squaring. So you can move your squaring post all the way up against the housing and move your bearings at about 8 inches apart. Like I said, it's all subjective. That's kind of what I roll with, 8 inches apart right there. Once your bearing posts are 8 inches apart, or however you like them, you can move this wobble indicator directly underneath your broadhead so that you can line up with that half line right there and check and be able to have a point of reference to see how your broadhead is spinning. Now, that should cover the basics of operation. Now let's move into mounting it to your workbench or piece of wood that you have available. So we designed this anchor tab to where you can insert it from the side. You do not have to take all the components off to slide this on. We made it to where you can actually insert this into the side, like so. And we recommend you put it right up against this front arrow rest right here, butt it up against there. That's just gonna allow you to be able to drill it in and see it better. And that's gonna completely stabilize the motor end of this unit. Now on the back end, you're gonna have the end cap, and that has 2 screw down holes right there. And pretty obvious, you're gonna put 2 screws in there to stabilize that to the bench. Now, as far as the vacuum piece goes, We have inch and inch and 3/4. Pretty obvious on this one. You're just gonna hook your end piece of your vacuum up right in there. It's gonna fit perfectly on the outside and you're good to go. Now that's gonna be it for the setup and basic operations of the modsaw. If you have any further questions whatsoever, shoot me an email at ryan@modsaw.com. We appreciate your business. If you're just watching this video because you're interested, let us know if you have any questions as well, and y'all have a great day.